Watch the enemy fire.
As a bachelor, I had a crappy rundown apartment, a mattress on the floor, and a small flat screen with an Xbox 360. I was an Xbox Live Gold member and got both Crackdown games for free. I poured countless hours into them. I gave Crackdown 2 plenty of opportunities to grab me, but I got bored of it simply for the fact it felt too much like the original game, which isn't always a bad thing, but there was not much justification, if any, to stop playing the original. The first game's where it's at for me. I always hold a soft spot for it in my heart. Fast forward to 2018 when I saw the teaser trailer for the third game. Though there was no gameplay shown, you had Terry Crews hyping it up. If he's got anything to do with anything, I'll happily support it. After all, he was on the Green Bay Packers practice squad in the 90s. Fun little factoid for you. It can't be understated how excited I was for Crackdown 3. Only problem was, I did not own an Xbox One. It wouldn't be until a few years ago when a buddy of mine, who also goes by the name of Chad, gave me his Xbox. Thank you very much, by the way, Chad. The first game I made sure to pick up was Crackdown 3 for Xbox One. How is it? It's complicated.
Remember when we all used to take breaks in the middle of the day to revitalize and get ready for the night? Yeah, me neither.
Appreciate it, Agent.
The Crackdown series is one of those rare Microsoft first-party offerings that looks like it should be forgotten, but lives on due to how well the game controls. You play as a futuristic cop in a somewhat modern, bordering on dystopian future where crime is so rampant that a new breed of cop needs to protect the streets from gangs, drugs, corporations, and all sorts of violence.
This area is the first landing spot.
What always set the first two entries apart were how fluid the controls are, your superhuman abilities, and the open world, specifically how you interact with it. You can follow the game on a mission-by-mission basis, or get sidetracked by races, headhunting, or simply exploring the open world. I often did the latter, opting to toy around with the world to see what I could get away with, and find whatever interesting things I could. Scattered throughout the map, you see green orbs. They're your character upgrades. The game rewards you for jumping from place to place and search for these things. Occasionally, you can find harder to reach white orbs with more powerful upgrades. They're the real reason to go wandering about. Every so often, I would come across a cartel and boss, wipe them out, and not even realize how much I was progressing just by having fun playing as a super cop.
Agent Anderson, best shooter I've ever seen. Any gun, any target, any time.
Now in Crackdown 3, you have a lot of the same mechanics. You go around to complete missions, find upgrades, but there's something off about this one. After playing for a few hours, I didn't feel nearly as super as I felt in the original game. Not even close. Playing some missions and spending a lot of time collecting upgrade agility orbs, it made very little difference. I did not feel much faster, stronger, able to take more hits, or jump farther. After everything I described, I went to an enemy stronghold where I was quickly taken out. I tried shooting a few guys from behind cover, but it wasn't much use. I was dead in a heartbeat. By this point, I had put around 5 hours into the game, mostly just getting the upgrades and did some objectives, which equate to find the next place to go, eliminate everyone, and explode something. Looking at some reviews, supposedly, it looks like the only time you feel like a true superhero is toward the end of an 8 to 10 hour campaign. The short length isn't the problem for me, it's the fact that you have to wait until the end of the story to feel strong, something you barely had to do in order to become an absolute unit in the original. And the funny thing is, I played missions where you traverse the company towers, and I was fine. Fighting the bosses are actually pretty fun, but that one gang base gave me such a headache, and I'm not completely sure why. I think it's because in this game, it's easy to get overwhelmed. The camera is zoomed in too far on your character. Having to angle the camera to find people shooting at you is a chore, especially when you're in a pinch. In Crackdown 1, the camera is farther away, making it much easier to find your aggressor. Running away and trying to spot who's shooting you can be a hard balancing act sometimes. This game also introduces drones, which I would argue almost breaks the game since they easily get lost in trees and other objects found around the city.
Carve them up, Agent.
Say hello to your mama for me.
One of the first things that stuck out to me like a sore thumb was the art style. There are portions of the world with futuristic cyberpunk decor, while other parts feel like a modern ghetto. A sharp juxtaposition of styles throughout the map that clash in such a way that's particularly difficult to describe. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but the other two games never went full future mode in the city's aesthetic design, other than the police department, of course. Here, you can literally travel across the street and feel like you traveled 100 years into the future at times. It doesn't seem like the developers fully understood what made the world so visually appealing, yet dark and moody. It's as if they thought, if people like these qualities in the originals, well, let's do the same thing, but we'll do more of it. Perhaps the most frustrating thing for me is how the game's missions take you to towers where you must shut down each of the futuristic corporation's tech on each floor of their ginormous towers. The verticality is a chore, especially when you don't jump as high or as far as quickly as you could in prior outings, which means you have to travel by foot up most of each tower, which have many floors. It doesn't take long to feel like you're playing a pale imitation of the real thing. Another thing I was really excited for prior to launch that really let me down was the announcement of a fully destructible world. Imagine taking down a crime boss by blowing up a wall to the upper floor, super jumping up there, and pumping him full of lead. Sounds incredible. Sadly, they reneged on their promise and said it would be locked behind a game mode before ultimately canceling it altogether. I'm sure there are lots of things the developer, Real Time Worlds, wanted to do to make this the best game possible. But it's apparent they either didn't have enough time or the resources to implement everything and balance the game the way it truly needed and deserved. The final aspect I want to take a look at is the story. There really isn't much of one to be seen in Crackdown 3, but I never cared about them in the previous games anyway. I only ever wanted to go shooty bang bang, you know? Many reviewers seemingly used its average story against it. I would say if the story is a sticking point for you, like, why are you even playing Crackdown? It's the least important aspect of the game, and none of the other ones had much of a story anyway. I'm glad something's here, but the game could have had no story, played like Crackdown, and I wouldn't grade it any lower. That's not why anyone plays the series. The story boils down to evil corporations up to no good and yada yada, you have to stop them, and you get the idea. What I can hold against the game, however, is the lack of Terry Crews. Aside from the introductory cutscene, which is pretty cool, he's a playable character and that's about it. Why wouldn't you add at least a few more cutscenes if you know you have Terry flippin' Crews as the face of your game? I don't care if the cutscenes would have been related to the story or not. If you have Terry Crews, utilize him.
Reinforcements inbound, Agent.
Shut it down.
If you enjoy Crackdown, you expect one of two things from a sequel coming 9 years after the last game. Either A, refinement and change to its core design to match what modern gamers are looking for in a high-octane third-person shooter, or B, the same mechanics and flow as its predecessor with clear indications in gameplay that your character has increased its stats in one or more categories. Unfortunately, Crackdown 3 does none of these things right. You might look badass and control similarly, but your character does not have the same feeling of strength as before. It's a shame the game has no clue what to modernize and what to keep the same. If the camera wasn't so close to the player and drones were just taken out of the game in general, I think that would be a step in the right direction. But the world doesn't feel as fun to run around in, your character isn't as exaggerated with their powers, and it takes so long to feel truly strong. At best, Crackdown 3 feels like just another Crackdown game. I think people gave it too much crap for that reason, when we're lucky to have gotten another one, period. It's not like this is a bad game or anything. It's playable and can be fun. The issue for me is much like the second game. Why should I play it if the first one plays the same, or even slightly better than the other two? If you find the game for a few bucks and want more of the same, this will surely be a good time. I think everyone just expected more. I hope this doesn't dissuade Terry Crews from appearing in other games in the future, because I think I speak for everyone when I say, you can never have enough, Terry Crews.
Say hello to Nova's chemical chief, an arrogant blowhard named Jaimin Keita.
We are diving head first into a bottomless pit. But I promise you this, come tomorrow, we're all gonna be walking